I think the story of Myra Jodie goes a long way in helping us to get our heads around the readings for today on race and access and divides in digital space, and help situate us for Module 3, which I'm going to ask you guys to do online. In 1998, Apple launched its iMac machines and started advertising the iMacs. That same year, they hired Jeff Goldblum as a spokesperson for the iMac ad campaign. And if you guys remember these ads, it was Jeff Goldblum doing a voiceover, and we see this sexy iMac on the screen, and a person takes it out of the box and plugs it into the wall, and then we hear Jeff Goldblum explain, "It's that easy. I'm online, I'm sending email, look at me go. It's that easy." In 1999, Apple partnered with a now-defunct.com for an essay contest that was geared toward middle schoolers. In early 2000, the winner of the contest was announced, and the winner was Myra Jodie, a 13-year-old girl who lived on a Navajo reservation spanning Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. And her home had no phone. Her and her mother used a payphone at the grocery store about 8 miles away from their house. Only a small percentage of the homes on the res had electricity, some were without running water. This res school that Myra attended tried to get internet set up, but the fees were about $3,000 a month. The local phone company at the time charged between $6,000 and $10,000 a mile to extend new service, making phone service an impossibility on the reservation. And this is before the ubiquity of cell phones. The phone company's take was, well, most of the Navajos on the res are too poor to afford phone service, so why bother running the lines? A year later, 2001, there's still no phone service in Myra's home. Then President Bill Clinton traveled to the reservation to speak, because this example of this girl winning this so easy to use computer and get you on the internet lightning fast, yet having no phone service, garnered some national attention. And Clinton, in his speech, mentioned, "There's a cruel irony here. For more than 50 years after the code talkers were able to communicate with one another over great distances in the Pacific, it's still hard to communicate between many parts of the Navajo Nation itself. In much of America, it takes just a modest amount of money and time to get on the internet. But here, an astonishing 37% of households are without electricity and 70% are without phone service." Clinton noted, "I'm here because I believe new technologies like the internet and wireless communications can have an enormous positive impact in the Navajo Nation. They can help you to leapfrog over some of the biggest hurdles to develop your economic and human potential. They can make great distances virtually disappear. They can be a vehicle for job growth, for education, for healthcare, for employment opportunities. They can be the greatest equalizers our society has ever known." And Clinton continued, "I believe the only way to keep our economy growing is to bring economic opportunity to the people and the places who have been left behind, and there's no better place to begin than by bridging the digital divide." And Clinton launched a program to start there and then in the Navajo Nation in which Jodie lived. In his speech, Clinton launched tax incentives to corporations to donate computers and sponsor community tech centers, committed to tech training for natives, especially native kids, noted a joint venture with satellite comm companies to equip Indian country schools, both K-12 schools and tribal colleges, with computers and internet access, and announced subsidies for poor American Indian phone customers, and also promising areas subsidies for cell tower construction. Cellular One and Nokia jumped in right away, promising to provide res families landline phones and basic cell service for $1 a month. So did it have an impact? The cell phone service, Clinton's speech. This story is one of the stories I want you guys to consider when you're thinking about the readings for this week and moving on to Module 3.